Hey, what's up, boys? This is Contango coming at you from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. And today we are doing Germany Turn 9. So this is the game I'm playing against Corporal Clegg and Piloto. And so we're on Germany Turn 9. Let's do a quick flyover of the map, see where things are at, and then we'll get going. So, a couple of big Allied fleets. The markers are actually down here. So that is where those fleets are at. Japan holding out in this city down here. There's a bunch of American ground units right there, along with there's a bunch of transports in with the fleet. And some more American stuff here. Italy pressing down here towards UK 27. Lots of movement for Germany this turn. Russia with a lot of tanks. If you're into counting, that's, I think, 41 tanks on the board. Probably the most I've ever seen. A lot of Chinese infantry. Pretty vacant US up here, and a lot of Japanese infantry. And the Japanese fleet hanging out over here. Yeah, so that's how we sit at the start of Germany Turn 9. A couple of things before we get going. In my last turn, made a mistake and purchased this factory upgrade a second time, forgetting that I had done that the previous turn. So the guys were nice enough to let me spend that money. So I ended up getting 2 additional artillery in I1, making that 5 artillery, and also this minor complex down here in, what is this, UK 28, I think it is. So a little adjustment there. Give you a quick shot of the board as well while I'm thinking of it. You can see the cities and the cash on hand right now. All right, let's jump into my tripod and then we'll get going. Okay. Should have done this before, but so let's talk about German purchases for, what is that, 95 IPCs. We are purchasing a bunch of 3 infantry, another bunch of 3 infantry, 3 mechanized infantry. We're borrowing some from ANZAC for the moment. 1 destroyer, 4 more mechanized infantry, 2 tanks, 5 more mechanized infantry, and 3 more regular infantry. That should be 95 total. So that's our purchases. Okay, so combat moves. Let's start with, we've got 1 infantry from G2 going into PX2. We've got, these 2 infantry are coming from G5. I just had to spread things out a little bit. So we've got 2 transports here. One is going to load up one of these infantry and come around the top of the northern island to Sea Zone 10 and drop in R1. The other transport that is there is going to pick up this artillery from G2 and drop it in G6. And our last transport that's over here in 23 is going to come over here as well. And it's going to pick up this other infantry from G5 and drop in R3. Okay, also into G6, there's 2 remaining artillery in G5. They're going to go into G6. Into R9, we're going to have 2 infantry from, I can't see what this is right now, but the territory with the giant German stack. So 2 infantry are going to peel off and go into R9. The remainder of the ground units are all going into R11. So that is 25 infantry, 8 mechanized infantry, 11 artillery, all from R8. I'm going to throw the AA gun in right now because I don't think there's any chance of us losing that battle, so just so I don't forget. Okay, also going into R11, we're going to have the 5 mechanized infantry and 1 tank from G5. Hope that you can see this. Okay, good. Also into R11, 3 mechanized infantry from PA4. Also into R11, what is this? 8 mechanized infantry from G8. And 12 tanks from G8. I'm going to go in there as well. All right. Let's deal with these bombers. So they're going to split up. One is going to go into G6, have 6 movement left. One is going to go into R9 and have 5 movement left. I'm going to put these planes in R9 down here. Hope that's okay. It's a little confusing, but it's getting kind of busy up there. So the planes that are down here are going to be in R9. Okay, so I need to split up these fighters from R8. So 1 fighter is going to stay there. 2 fighters are going into G6. They'll have 3 movement left. I'm going to park them up here for sake of space. And 1 additional fighter left is going into R9 with 3 movement left. All right, so then we've got 6 tactical bombers. Let's split those up. Got 3 going into G6. And the other 3 are going into R9. Okay. That might be it for combat moves. Let me just do a pause here and make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so I think we're good. Guess we should start with the Amphibious Assaults. So R1 is a walk-on, and then we have R3 is a walk-on. So we just have G6. So the battleship is going to bombard there with the 1 artillery that came off the transport from G2. The other 2 artillery walked into there. So we have 2 fighters, 3 tactical bombers, and a bomber. And all this is against 2 infantry. So here's our 3 artillery. We've got 2 fighters and 1 tactical bomber that won't be paired. Then we've got 2 tactical bombers that are paired, plus a bomber and the battleship. All right, we've got plenty of hits there. Just needed 2. We'll do the 2 Russian infantry, and they both miss. So that's good. Let's clear out the Russian infantry. Whoops. Okay, let's do R9 next. So we've got 2 infantry, a fighter, and 3 tactical bombers, and a bomber against 1 infantry. All right, so we've got, you know what, let's start with the infantry. 2 infantry. Then we've got 1 fighter and 2 tactical bombers that aren't paired. And then we've got 1 tactical bomber that is paired and 1 bomber. And we got hits. Just need 1. So the Russians miss. All right. And then in R11, let's start with, we've got 13 tanks there. Let's start with 10 tanks and see how that goes. Should hopefully get a hit off of that. So that's going to be all my blues. And we do get hits. And the Russian infantry misses. All right, so painless turn for Germany. Get rid of that Russian infantry. And let's do the income right now. So we've got, this is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm just going to leave this flip this way. I'm actually using a Japanese roundel because I'm out of German roundels. So that was 10 income from Russia onto Germany, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. 10. So Germany is going from 72 plus 6 to 72 plus 16. So that'd be, what, 88, I think? And the Russians are coming down 10 from 43 to 33 on the tracker. Okay. Let me get rid of some of these red arrows for a minute. All right, there we go. Yeah, Germany takes a lot of roundels in this game. I don't know if you can tell, but these ones are a different red than these ones. They're from the original game, so I already borrowed all of them from that game, as well as the ones that come with the regular G40 game. So anyway, so in non-combat moves, and I'm going to need to clean up R11 here in a minute. Let's do the planes. So both bombers, the one from R11, the one from R9, are going to return to G5. We are going to have one tactical bomber from, let's call it G6 is going to land on an aircraft carrier. The other two tactical bombers and the two fighters from G6 are going to G5. So these gray chips are tactical bombers. R11, the fighter and the three tactical bombers from there are going to G5 as well. The one fighter that didn't do anything and stayed in R8 is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 into what you might call France or Paris, F3 to be specific. Okay, so that takes care of all the planes, if I'm not mistaken. What's next? Okay, let's do from G11, when mechanized infantry is going into PA4, and from F5, 3 mechanized infantry are going into PA4. From G15, 3 mechanized infantry are going into G8. From whatever this is, UK5, we got 3 AA guns, 2 infantry, and a mechanized infantry going into UK4. They're going to be joined by 3 tanks and a mechanized infantry from F3. Also, if you can see it, In G19, we have one fighter. It is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into UK4. This submarine in C-Zone 23 is going to go 1, 2, 3 into 26 up here. So that's a convoy zone. What else? Okay, down here. 2 infantry are going from PX4 to PA8. AA gun will stay there. And 2 infantry from F6 into PX5. And I think that's it for non-combat moves. Okay, let me pause and just make sure. Okay, I see what we missed here. In PA11, there's 4 infantry going to PA10. And I think we might actually change up one small thing, which is one of these bombers in G5 is going to end up in G15 instead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's got enough. It's got enough range for that. Okay, let me clean up these arrows and clean up my units a little bit here. Okay, there we are, cleaned up a bit. Let's place new units. So first of all, we have 3 infantry going into UK4. Then 3 more infantry going into UK5. In F3, we have 3 mechanized infantry. The destroyer is going down here in G21. Up in G5, we have 3 infantry. 5 mechs and 2 tanks. And then we've got 4 mechanized infantry left. We're actually going to split that up. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so 3 of them going to F5 and 1 into G15. The bottom of the screen. Okay, and I might make one little change here in non-combat moves. Give me 1 minute to think about this. Yeah, so we're going to make one little move with the battleship down here in 87. It's going to go 1, 2, 3 into 75. Like that. Okay, so I think that's it for non-combat moves. So we just have the income. Let's take care of that now. Okay, so I have Germany at 72 plus 16. Should be 88, and then still have 2 national objectives. We have now this new one that we didn't have before for the Northern Ireland. And then we have the Sea Lion one, which we've had for a while. So that puts Germany at 98 total. And at the moment, I don't see any convoy raids for Germany. There was one here previously, but Germany doesn't own this anymore. So I think we're fine there. And I believe that's it. That's it. So, okay. So let's do one quick flyover, and then I will call out the units for the guys. So decent turn for Germany. No losses. Pretty small battles, but okay. Let's start with naval units. So in Sea Zone 75, we have a battleship. In 71, we have a destroyer. Up north, in Sea Zone 10, we have one transport. And then in 25, we have two transports, a cruiser, a destroyer, two aircraft carriers with one tactical bomber, and a battleship. And then we have a sub in 26. That's it for naval units. In R11, we have one AA gun, 11 infantry, 13 tanks, 25 infantry, and 25 mechanized infantry. In R9, there's 2 infantry. R3 has 1 infantry. G6 has 3 artillery. PA4 has 4 mechanized infantry. G5 has 3 infantry, 2 tanks, 5 mechanized infantry, 1 bomber, 3 fighters, and 5 tactical bombers. G8 has 3 mechanized infantry. F5 has 3 mechanized infantry. F3 has 3 mechanized infantry. I hope I said that right. F5 has 3. F3 has 3 mechanized infantry. And F3 also has 1 fighter. UK5 has 3 infantry. UK4 has 5 infantry, 3 AA guns, 2 mechanized infantry, 3 tanks, and 1 fighter. PA8 has 2 infantry and an AA gun. PX5 has 2 infantry. I5 has 1 AA gun. G15 has a mechanized infantry and a bomber. And PA10 has 4 infantry. I think that's it. Yeah, so hopefully I didn't miss anything. So up next will be Piloto playing Russia. And yeah, so look for the next turn from him. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I will talk to you later.